Thank you.
Alright guys, so we're here at Yosemite. We're not quite where we're gonna be hiking yet, but there's a deer literally right there. And as you guys can see from all the fire and smoke, this whole area is just orange, which gives it a pretty crazy vibe.
So
Are you
I don't know if
nervous?
this is right or not, but it
Huh?
feels like
Are you nervous?
tap on top of my
Not
shoulder.
really.
Like,
Why are you getting so
looking forward to
close?
I'm looking forward to it.
We got Ed, he's the leader of this trip. We got Garrett, we got Jared. Alright, this is the trailhead for the Upper Yosemite Falls hike. Let's get going. Today we're going to attempt to hike up approximately 3,000 feet on the Upper Yosemite Falls Trail, where we will then hopefully be able to set up camp and not get eaten by bears. Getting a little bit slippery, boys. Come out looking like Thor after this hike. This journey was extra special as we were fusing a memory of our fathers with a new one of our own. We had been to the bottom of Yosemite before, and he had told us the stories of him climbing to the top years before. Today, we create a new story, a new memory that maybe one day I will be able to tell in the future to kids of my own. Wow, look at that view. Whoa. That's sick. Guys, on your way down?
We are, yeah.
How was it?
It was nice up there.
Nice.
Started, yesterday at the highway.
Oh, okay.
Came down.
Awesome.
Yep, it's pretty. Enjoy up there.
Yeah, I can't wait. You guys have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, guys, we're gonna camp here for tonight. Protect us. It'll protect us from the rain. We should be good. Yep, that's a cedar alpine. Those are rare. Why do I look so stupid? We're still only along the beginning of the trail, and you definitely feel it taking its toll on you, so I can't imagine what it's gonna be like once it gets steeper. Oh yeah, there's some water coming down this side of the mountain here. All right, so we're actually walking through the stream right now that we saw earlier. If you look closely, as you can see, I've spotted a blue Congo. Right there. That is Half Dome right there.
Wonder where the other half went.
The difficulty of this hike is classified as high. It's a long, steep climb from the valley floor to the valley rim and easily rates as an 8 out of 10. To put it into perspective, would you ever climb to the top of the stairs of the Empire State Building? Well, this hike is actually equivalent to 2 times the Empire State Building. All right, guys, we're about halfway done with the hike, and if you look right up there, that's where Yosemite Falls falls. Jared caught a little baby lizard. We're gonna take it to the top and eat it for dinner. What? How's the hike going for you so far?
It's going great. Having fun.
What about you, Jared?
Feeling good. I got shoot.
Dad, you still got it in you or what?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Hopefully we make it to the top soon, and then we can set up camp. All right, guys, we're gonna stop here for a second, and we're gonna eat some lunch. Seems like a nice place to stop. I believe that's the falls right there, right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so after doing some eating here and my dad realizing YOLO, we've decided, like the pioneers we aren't, we are going to veer off the trail here and we're gonna go explore where the falls usually is pouring. We made our way down towards the bottom where we found small pools and caves that formed via years of taking a beating by hundreds of thousands of gallons of water. Although it took us extra energy and water and time, it was a pretty awesome detour. It seems fun chucking a rock off. That's where we were, somewhere all the way up there. I really want to go for a quick swim, but it's probably not the best idea. The water's not too clean. All right, my dad is currently filtering water so we can drink it later. All right, I'm gonna wash my feet off. This is how they did it in the olden days. Just like that, clean feet.
We made our way back up and continued our trek.
The average time people have taken going up this is approximately anywhere from 3 to 5 hours just going up. So I was gonna see how long it would take us, but we decided that we were gonna take that detour earlier. So I kind of lost track of time, but either way, we've made some decent progress. I am feeling a bit tired and dehydrated, but we need to save our water because the only water we're gonna have up there is water that we filter. So we're gonna keep pushing, and I just can't wait to get up to the top, man.
As our mental fortitude increased, our bodies slowly grew weaker. At a certain period in the climb, I could feel every muscle in my body straining, but felt as if I could continue forever as our bodies went into some sort of autopilot mode.
Yeah, we're almost there. Looks like the trail bends up around here. We're close, guys. We're seeing signs. Yosemite Valley. All right, if you've made it to this sign, it should say something like Yosemite Falls and a couple other things, but we want the Yosemite Falls one, and it says 0.2 miles, so we're almost there. Let's keep going. All right, things are starting to flatten out. I think we're almost there. All right, there's a bridge we gotta cross. This normally would be rushing with water. Oh, look, a squirrel. That guy was fat. Fat squirrel. Here we are, folks. We're on the bridge. This thing's pretty creepy, not gonna lie, but it's also pretty cool at the same time. Here's a closer look at the bottom of the riverbed. Should we stick to the path? All right, YOLO.
We decided to push ourselves to our limits as we wanted to get the most out of this trip and decided to carefully make our way down to the very edge of the falls. Disclaimer, this was very dangerous and I do not recommend going off trail.
This is pretty crazy. Yeah, you just gotta be careful. It's pretty slippery though. Some pretty tight walking here. It's pretty steep right here. Cool little pool right here. Let's see how cold it is. Oh yeah, that's crazy. We did it!
Filled with a deep sense of accomplishment as well as a surreal feeling of awe, we had finally made it to the top.
Wow, this is insane.
With the wind raging and inches away from a 1,000-foot deadly drop, we sat where typically hundreds of thousands of gallons would be rushing out, making their way down into the riverbeds of Yosemite, and enjoyed one of the most breathtaking views I had personally ever experienced.
Yosemite Falls is actually the highest measured waterfall in North America, measuring at about 739 meters or approximately 2,425 feet. Just look at this view.
With anxiety levels rising from being so close to a drop that would certainly only end in death and nightfall very near in our future, we began our mission to find a spot to set up camp. Something I had been looking forward to all day.
Shout out Lumberjacks for clearing a pathway for us.
After a painfully far too long walk in the forest, we had eventually found the perfect spot to set up camp just before nightfall.
Tent.
We quickly set up our tents and began preparing the food. With energy levels at an all-time low, we were starving.
So campfires actually aren't allowed right now because of all the fires. So we're gonna be using good old propane to cook us up some, what are we eating tonight?
Macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese.
With bacon.
With bacon, America's finest. So you heat up the water in here. Then you're gonna place the macaroni in these bags right here, and then we're gonna pour the water into the bag, and that should actually cook it. And then before you know it, you should have some delicious macaroni bacon soup. Should be delicious though.
And now, we feast.
That is food. That is something else.
What's a big bacon bit?
Maybe I should call her.
So we gotta be careful not to spill any food or
leave any food out tonight because that's what's gonna attract the bears. A second ago, a deer came up on us, and luckily it wasn't a bear, but we definitely do not want any bears tonight. So we're gonna hopefully be as careful as possible, and everything should be a-okay. All right, we have these air mattresses that we have to blow up so we can hopefully sleep comfortably and get a good night's rest, which hopefully that will happen because my body and feet and mind is absolutely killing me. We somehow managed to turn a 3.5 mile hike into 8 miles, which that's fine. You know, sometimes that's how she goes. It was still a great time nonetheless, but it just makes me even more excited to get a good night's rest tonight. All right, guys, so our sleeping bags are set up. This is my air mattress. Not too bad, not too bad. Better than sleeping on the floor, that's for sure. All right, guys, I am nice and comfy and ready for the night. Good morning, guys. No bears hacks, thankfully. We're gonna cook up some breakfast in just a bit here. But man, I gotta say, that was a rough night's sleep. You had 3 other dudes snoring. The beds were extremely squeaky, so every time someone turned, it made a super loud noise. And on top of that, I just couldn't fall asleep. I don't know why. But it's all right, because I do feel refreshed. I'm ready for today, and we're gonna get going here in just a bit. I wanna see what's down here. Check this out a bit. Oh, looks like there is some water. All right, we're currently making our way down to try and get some water. We finally found a spot to get some water, but wasn't too easy to get over here, and I kind of took a beating, as well as sinking my right foot in the water. So letting my shoe air dry. Hopefully it'll be dry by the time we gotta hike. That water mission was just that, a mission. Definitely took a beating. I hit my foot like 4 times in the same spot, and so it turned blue.
Maple brown sugar.
Oatmeal's all cooked up. That hit the spot.
After eating a decent breakfast while being fairly exhausted and sore, to say the least, we packed up our things, and with little to no stops, we concluded our journey by hurrying down the mountainside at a surprisingly rate.
We made it. Subscribe.